Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is season 2 of the Turnpike Titans podcast. I can't believe it. This past season flew by like a blur, and we're already back. And genuinely thank the Tennessee Titans for giving us so much amazing content to talk about over this past week. To say words can't do justice would be an understatement, but we got to do our best to try to put words together to come up with some sort of analogy of what we saw this past Sunday. Tennessee Titans, of course, losing to the New York Giants by a final score of 21-20 in their own building after one of the worst playoff losses the team has ever seen. 8 months to prepare. And I personally got to see it firsthand. If you did not know, I was in attendance in Tennessee for that game. Outside of that deplorable performance, it was worth every penny. But let's just get right into it. I'm going to save up my energy for my turn. As always, I'm going to hand over to the two of you first. Vinny, why don't you give us your first impression and try to just come up with some sort of take. Give us, you always have something to positive spin on it. I'm hoping you have something to offer tonight.
I have no positive spin. I'm going to go with a really over-the-top analogy was the term I believe you wanted. My analogy is this was like D-Day, okay? And the Titans were the Germans, all right? They had home field advantage. Things were going their way. The enemy was coming into their home where they knew they were coming there, had time to prepare. We're winning the battle, and they still fucked it up. Historical times, great for us. We're American. This analogy, the Titans were the Germans, and they fucked it up. They let the Giants come in there. They let them hang around, and instead of stepping on their fucking throat like they could have from the start, they let them fucking hang around long enough until we finally fucking lost. And us three have been watching these games our whole lives. We saw the writing on the wall. I would say for me, it was after the muff punt. Okay. Usually I have a positive spin. We'll get into that later. Some bright spots from certain players. Overall, though, fucking abysmal. Okay. So roll it over to Mr. Foot up there in Nutley, New Jersey.
What's going on, buddy? It's good to be back with you guys again on season 2. But listen, the game itself, we're talking about the offense, the struggles and everything. There are bright spots. So since you're going on a negative, I may go on the positive. With the
Tannehill look good.
Huh?
Ryan Tannehill look good.
I was getting to him at number 3, but if you want to start with him, the big question marks coming into the offseason was the quarterback. Tannehill, we can't put the blame on him for this game because he actually played really well. So also with losing Harold Landry, Rashad Weaver comes into the game, picks up 2 sacks. So that's a pretty big bright spot in our defense. And Ryan Stonehouse averaging 57 yards a punt. We thought we lost a legend in Brett Kern. This guy's booming punts, but you know, all in all, now getting back into like the worst of the game is the offense. We're struggling constantly, and it's so vanilla, like we're talking about since the start of this podcast last year. I mean, we're running the ball ridiculously high percentage on first down, and no shit, Derrick Henry's getting the ball. You know, they're going to stack the box. Then we're stuck with second and third and long, and then we're getting off the field. We're 3 of 11 yesterday on third down conversions. I mean, against the Giants that are in a rebuild game, and they actually played pretty well. You know,
a rebuild decade.
Yeah, it actually looked like they were trying to tank. That's how much the game was going our way in the first.
And the Giants didn't have 2 of their best pass rushers.
Yep.
And I mean, our line held up, but with zero sacks and everything. But the scheme itself and the play calling still is a big thing with Todd Downing. And I know everyone trashed him online on Twitter, especially us 3. I know that. But, you know, third and short, and you're running a tight end fucking sweep, and you got a giant running back. Like, what are you doing? 3rd and 4, you got 3 tight end sets, and all you've been hearing about was Chig and Hooper in training camp, you know, getting red zone targets and everything, and you run a running back into the flat, which I don't even think that was his first read. It could have been Cody Hollister, but what the fuck is Cody Hollister doing on the field on 3rd and 4? When you go after Robert Woods in free agency, you draft Traylon Burks, you have Kyle Phillips, you have 2 tight ends. Why the fuck is he on the field? These are things that are head scratchers for us. And I know you guys are going to get into it too, but I'm sitting here with 4 Giant fans in my house screaming at me that, oh, you thought you were going to a fucking Super Bowl run. And, I got to listen to all that shit. But, the game itself was just atrocious. Just to start week 1 with a loss when I know it's an NFC team, but you're home. You got a big game coming up this week. Put everything under your belt to go into Buffalo, and now you got this. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I hate when people say, "Oh, it's an NFC team or it's only one game." Fuck that. This isn't the MLB or the NHL or the NBA where you have 162 games or 82 games. There's 17 games. The difference between a 6-11 team and an 11-6 team is what we did on Sunday. Okay,
Exactly.
Good teams win close games. Bad teams lose close games. Over the past few years, we've won some close games, but I mean, it would have done a lot for Titans fans if we could have came out, if they could have came out and beat the shit out of the Giants and made us forget a little bit about what happened in January. But unfortunately, the sour taste got a little worse. So, you went into a little more specifics than us. I'm sure we'll touch on it later. But how was Nashville, Sal?
Outside of what I had to witness on Sunday afternoon, it was an unforgettable experience. As I've said on Twitter a million times, there's no way I'm ever missing an opportunity to go down there. Every single year until I take my last breath, I will be visiting Nashville, Tennessee for a Titans game. As I said, briefly on Twitter, the reception I got down there was incredible. It was 45 million times more or better than I even expected. So in that sense, it was excellent, and I can't complain in the least bit. But now it's my turn to talk about this, and I've been waiting a long time because I don't have to fit this in the short 2-minute and 20-second window that Twitter has allowed me. The Giants, the New York fucking Giants. We had 8 months to prepare for the fucking New York Giants, who have not won an opening game since 2002. Well, I'm sorry. There's no 2 there. 7 years. So I'm fucking terrible at math. Jared, what year would that be? That would be 2015.
I believe so, yeah.
7 years. This team has not come out on a week 1 and gotten a W. And of course, the Titans, as only the Titans can do, allow this team to have hope, to believe. Do you know how fucking insane MetLife Stadium is going to be next week?
Oh, believe
me. When the
sorry-ass
Panthers come to town?
It was just exactly at my house.
They're going to believe. And listen, they're probably going to lose that game because they suck. And if you have anyone with a fucking brain cell of an offensive play caller that knows, hey, our secondary blows, so let's just throw the ball. Let's just take a shot, not 9, not 10. Let's take a shot down the field because their secondary is terrible. But we don't do that. We do fucking end arounds with tight ends. We do these stupid sideline throws, and we need to get 60 yards in 1 minute. We're throwing the ball out of bounds. I have been the one constant in this fan base that has said, I mean, I'm not the one, but one of the few, since this jerk off took over as the offensive play caller, that absolutely. He is a complete piece of shit. And I've went on rants and back and forths on Twitter for hours and hours. He doesn't have the weapons. Okay, what happened against Cincinnati? All the weapons were there. You have Julio Jones, A.J. Brown. Remember that guy? He's a piece of shit, but holy fucking shit, we could have used his ass. He only had, 200 yards?
150.
Whatever. Julio Jones, Derrick Henry's back. Everyone's good. And he shit the bed. Now, new season, 8 months to game plan. What does he do? Shits the bed. And you mentioned that muff punt. Now, that was abysmal. That was terrible. As amazing as Kyle Phillips is, and I am so excited to see him progress as a Titan. That didn't even matter because we picked the fucking ball up in the end zone. How many opportunities did we have to beat the sorry-ass Giants? And once again, this piece of shit, this guy We were Super Bowl champions last year. We had everything. Derrick Henry would have been better against Kansas City than he was in Cincinnati. He was rusty. He always needs to get going. He'll probably have 100+ yards against Buffalo, even though we're still going to fucking lose. But you know he was going to get going. We had everything going our way, and this prick blew it. And we bring Tim Kelly in. Well, guess what? Tim Kelly isn't going to decide, hey, you know what? It's not a good idea to do a fucking end around with a tight end. He doesn't have the ability to do that. It's Todd Downing. And now we're and now listen, this team could easily make the playoffs. This division is a disaster. It's a joke. But what's going to happen when we do? He's going to fuck it up again. So what do you have? You have Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, leader of men. Well, it's time you wear that fucking plate the right way and do something about it. You never hold your coaches accountable. This is just as bad, if not worse, than Cincinnati because it's the fucking Giants at home, week 1. And who's going to get held accountable? The players? Yeah, of course. But the players didn't lose this game. The game plan what lost this fucking game. No one is even talking about how terrible the defense was in the second half.
Saquon Barkley just fucking chewed them up.
Because the play calling on offense was so abysmal that you can't even realize, oh my God, we just let Saquon Barkley turn into rookie Saquon Barkley. First time in fucking 4 years he's done shit like that. You can't even bring that up because it shouldn't even have been a game to come back in. So my veins are about to explode. I got that little 4 or 5 minute in. Let's break it down.
Feel better?
No, I feel worse, actually. But let's break it down. Let's start with the positive. Let's start with what was the best thing you could take out of that game besides the fact that we are doomed with this S-swipe calling plays. Give the audience something to feel good about. Jarrett, you can begin. There's a plethora of things to pick from, believe it or not.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the pressure, the game planning from first half and second half is just what boggles my mind. The first couple of drives, we go right down the field, we get some points. We're throwing the ball, crossers and everything. Treylon Burks, he led all rookies in yak. I mean, he only got targeted 5 times like we talked about before, but he led all rookies. Why not give him the ball more? I don't understand. You draft a first-round rookie. Why do you target him 5 times and not give him the ball? And in a game that we're almost down and, not, conservative play calling, like you're saying with Todd Downing. That and Jeffrey Simmons, man. Jeffrey Simmons, he's just a monster fucking among men.
Yeah.
I think Pro Football Focus had him at one of the top 3 defenders. Yep. He was in the backfield. Yeah. Dude, he's in the backfield every fucking play, and it's Aaron Donald 2.0. I tell my friends that, they laugh at me, but they saw it firsthand on Sunday. That guy can't be blocked. So we definitely have hopefully we lock him up for years to come. But the game plan, we pressure Daniel Jones in the first half constantly, 4 sacks, 5 sacks, whatever it is. And in the second half, it doesn't even look like we did anything. No pressures on Daniel Jones. And I think I have a stat on the phone. Somebody I think it was NFL Rumors. It said the Giants, Daniel Jones had 0 off-target throws this past weekend. He was one of 2 quarterbacks this whole weekend. And the other one is Josh Allen, who we play this week. Yeah. So 0 off-throw targets. I mean, come on. The game plan in the second half, even though if you're up 13, you have to step on your throat, just like Vinny said. Like, we're up 13. We play, the conservative play calling. You run the ball, whatever. You have to score 25, 35, just like the Kansas Cities and Buffaloes. You don't see them stepping down and everything. So, I mean, that's all I got for there, man. It's just so hard to talk about after a loss. You get your blood boiling, like you just said. So
let me ask you, did Hilliard throwing the ball to Hilliard, that worked pretty well, did it not?
It worked pretty well, but I mean, how many times are you going to throw to a fucking third down back?
I don't know. They only did it twice.
I know, but
what happened? He had fucking 80 yards receiving. The two times they threw to him.
But we go after Austin Hooper. We draft Shea. We hear all about it all the offseason. You have Treylon Burks. You have Phillips and Woods. Woods targeted twice all game.
It's abysmal. Vinny?
You're throwing more to Jeff Swain. What the fuck is that?
Jeff Swain. Never get tired of saying that name.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, well, to piggyback off what Jared said, first they need to hand Jeffrey Simmons a blank check because God forbid if they lost him, then we might as well just be the fucking, the Jacksonville Jaguars, because if we let him go, I mean, give him what he wants, 4 years, 120 million, he's worth 30 million a year, in my opinion. If you're not going to allocate that money towards AJ Brown, you have to allocate it elsewhere. And he will be a defensive player of the year candidate for sure. And it seems like each year he's gotten better, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And same thing with you. I told my brother last year, Jeffrey Simmons. He was like, who the fuck is that? And then he watched the playoff game at our house. And remember the play when I think they ran a screen pass and Jeffrey Simmons chased Mixon from behind, just shoved him in the fucking back and knocked him forward like 5 yards. I told my brother, I said, that's who fucking Jeffrey Simmons is. So yeah, he's going to become a household name as time goes on. And he's the next, I don't know if the next Aaron Donald, because he might be the best defensive player maybe of all time with Lawrence Taylor, but he's up there for sure. Offensively, aside from our offensive coordinator, who I don't want to waste too much time on, because I find it's going to be hard for him to make it through the first 6 weeks of the season if we continue struggling. The fan base, the pressure of it will get to the front office. Vrabel, like you said, Sal, needs to start taking accountability, which I was going to get to, because like you said, he's a leader of men, but he needs to hold these coaches accountable as well. We just, there's no more excuses at this point. So, especially for a guy like Vrabel, you feel like takes so much accountability. Why hasn't he stepped forward and said, like, I made a mistake with, hiring him. We brought in an assistant, yada, yada. We're going to go forward with him. But offensively, Kyle Phillips looks like he could be, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, they were great. If they're not him, he could be a Cole Beasley. I think he's going to be on our team for the next 5-6 years. I think he's going to be a chain mover, possession guy, security blanket this year for Tannehill, hopefully for Jared's favorite player in the world, Malik Willis, in the future. But other than that, I mean, you're never going to talk bad about Henry. I heard people saying he looks slow, yada, yada.
I have no problems doing it. So I will when you're done.
Yeah, well, he's played one football game in the last 9 months. And like you said, when this offense is predictable as could be, we all said it in the last podcast, after the draft, game plan going forward is they're going to stack the fucking box and they're going to say, listen, make Tannehill beat us because we know you're giving the ball to Henry and we're going to put 8-9 in the box. And once we stop him, we're going to make your fucking quarterback beat us. So he looked good Sunday, but offensively, I'm not mad at Henry. What do you have? 20 carries for 80 yards.
Before you go on, just before he talks too, because I know he's going to try to bash Henry, which I'm thinking he's going to do.
Not bash him.
All right,
just
but
state the obvious.
Okay, I'm gonna state another fact because I love bringing shit to the podcast with it. In Sunday's loss, Titans ran 19 plays on second and third down and 3 to 5 yards less. Derrick Henry got the ball on 2 of those plays. 18 of Henry's 21 carries came on first down with 10 plus yards. 18 of 21. He saw 1st and 10, 1st and 15, 1st and 20. I mean, how are you gonna do that to your number one guy?
Yeah, where they
you're not giving him short yards. I know Hilliard did great on short yards, third down. He's gonna be the third down guy. I get it, but when you have a 6'4", 260 fucking pound back, how are you running an end around with a tight end to get 1 yard, and you have a 3 tight end set with Cody Hollister on the field? I'm sick to my fucking stomach.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, is it crazy that he doesn't get the ball on the third and shorts? Yeah, obviously, because even though he wasn't himself, he's gonna, he could trip and get 2 yards. So again, it's just embarrassing that we have to continue to talk about this. Vin, you mentioned you don't see him, getting into 6 weeks if this continues. But it's so embarrassing that we're even saying this because it never should have gotten to this point. He should have never been back to begin with. And then this is the statement that you make after you're gifted your job back. You're gifted your job back. I like to bring up somebody who a lot of people didn't like. And in some ways they had a reason to, because sometimes the way he treated players wasn't the greatest, and it's also a different sport. But I'd like to bring up a guy named George Steinbrenner. Okay, he was the owner of the Yankees many years ago, and he was a fucking lunatic, but it was only because he wanted to win above anything else. And this isn't a shot at Amy Adams, considering she's the owner, but I'm just talking about people involved in the organization that make decisions. When when somebody fucked up, they were held accountable, not the day after, immediately. And this piece of shit wasn't only not held accountable, he was gifted his job back. And this is the product we received 8 months later. It's deplorable. I love Mike Vrabel. He just personifies everything that you want as a coach, the look, the way he helps the guys in the practice, everything. But I'm about done, because the most important thing is to hold people accountable when they're not doing their job. The only thing that matters is winning a championship. And you are allowing this asshole to continue to screw your team because he is clueless. So I don't want it to forget waiting a week 6. This decision should have been made Sunday night. You had your chance, buddy. You blew it against a fucking T-ball team. It was placed on a platter for you. Here you go, Todd. Win the fan base back. Win the team back. Here's a cakewalk team. And you just completely botched it. So I don't want to hear about week 6. Real quick about Henry. He didn't have it. I know he's going to have it. I'm not worried about him. I know he's going to be him, if not this week, very, very soon. But he didn't have it. And we continue to say, all right, let's just waste downs on him getting 2 yards, 3 yards, when we could throw at will against whoever we had out there. Forget about the embarrassment that we had Cody Hollister and fucking 3 tight end sets with practice squad guys. Forget about all that. They still were making plays. Cody Hollister had an amazing catch in the first half on the sideline. I was like, holy shit, still shouldn't have been out there, but it was nice to see because the Giants secondary was so bad that we could do whatever we want through the air. Tannehill had all the time in the world, and that brings me to this very, very quickly, and then we'll move on. Tannehill looked really good. I'm very happy with the way Tannehill looked. He has turned me into a believer moving forward. He will never succeed with this ass clown calling his plays, but he made money throws. That Kyle Phillips throw was a money throw. That was a Brady-esque throw. You had a window that was not even, you couldn't even see it, how tight it was. And he made it, and he put it right there. And Kyle Phillips went out and got it, and it with an excellent route. So I'm excited in that sense. He's turned me into a believer already, because now I'm even going back on my word from last year that it's way more Downing's fault than Tannehill. Way more, because all he had to do was get out of there with a win, and then Tannehill could have had another chance to show us that he could be big time, which he has been before, but he never got the chance because this idiot fucking blew it for him and put him in a position to not succeed. So Tannehill, I'm happy with you, buddy. Keep doing your thing. Try to play better in spite of this prick. And now we can move on to Vin. You brought up what you were happy about and things that we can maybe hang our hat on, right? If I'm remembering correctly. All right.
Then we got a little sidetracked talking about the King, but as most Titans fans do, listen, he could basically do no wrong in my mind. My girlfriend makes fun of me all the time, but I love the man. We all do. He will get going. He just looks like a running back who hasn't played in 9 months and is coming off a big foot injury. And, it's his first full game back, really, because he was in and out of that Cincinnati game. So, bringing up Tannehill, though, I thought you brought up a good point. I know we want to get to the next point, though. Since we had a little trouble running the ball, speaking of our quarterback, he's a little fucking mobile. And those fucking read options with him have worked plenty of times in the fucking past.
Yeah, didn't try it once.
You see one of them, Sal, on Sunday?
No.
One of them, that opens up the field so much when your quarterback can be a threat to run the fucking ball, when you have to worry about not only the 260-pound running back, but the athletic ass quarterback who can use his legs as well. So zero creativity from the mastermind.
I think we're going to see more of that this week, though.
The mastermind.
And listen, I no one's brought it up, not once on Twitter, and I'm trying to be as least controversial this week as I can.
Please.
But in all fucking honesty, why in God's name can't we let Malik Willis get a fucking snap 2 snaps, 3 snaps to loosen it up. You want to talk. You want to do a wildcat play? Don't let Derrick Henry behind center to take a fucking snap. Let Malik Willis, the most athletic or the second most athletic guy on the team, let him take a snap. The Giants are terrible on defense anyway. They're not going to know what's going to happen. If you're going to do a direct snap to someone besides Tannehill with a threat to run, why not let him have a chance? Are we that concerned about Tannehill's feelings being hurt that we're letting this fucking guy get a snap? It's just so pathetic. It's just, it just is.
We said it after the draft too. It was one of the things I believe I mentioned that I think he needs to get some packages.
He has to.
He's gonna, and it's week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Next week.
No. It's week 1 too. I mean, there's a lot of overreactions by us, all of Twitter. I get it. It's week 1.
I agree with Cal though in the sense that it would have been a different look. It would have confused them.
Absolutely.
He could have faked the run, and you could have let fucking someone go deep. You could have fucking let Kyle Phillips run a button hook or a 5 in, a 5 out, or you could have just let him fucking run the ball, or you could have handed it to Henry. But when you have him out there, listen, it was week 1. I'm not using that as an excuse. I think he will get on the field. I think he has to, but it just goes back to what we said. It's zero creativity from Todd Downing. You saw a lot of creativity with Arthur Smith, which by the way, him and Mariota, I think they're going to be better than a lot of team people think they are this year. He's a creative head coach who's had to work his way from the bottom. And
scored more points than we did against a much better defense.
And he not to get too sidetracked, but when he was our offensive coordinator, what were we 1 or 2 in the league in total offense?
We were the best, averaging 34 points a game.
Year we went to the title game, and then the next year I think we were 1 and 2 in total offense. And he was the kind of guy who wanted to step on your fucking throat. When we were up 13-0, we get complacent. I feel like this team, we like to trade 6 for 3. Which over the course of a game, Sal called the Giants a T-ball team. Guess what? They're still all professional fucking athletes. You let any pro team hang around long enough, you're going to let them potentially get it back in that game and fucking win it, which is exactly what we fucking did. So zero creativity. I mean, we went from, nobody knowing who Arthur Smith was to 2 years later, he's a head coach. And now we're stuck with this guy who, like you said, was handed his job back this year. We lost A.J. Brown, but we still have talent. We drafted pretty well, we think. And it's just, we can't get out of our own fucking way.
Well, just to piggyback off what you said as far as maybe Malik getting some snaps moving forward, it's a lose-lose. Because number one, if it took this for it to happen, you're an idiot. And if you decided that it wasn't a good idea to do it in the first week, you're an idiot. So either way, it's just a bad look from the play callers and the game planners. If you're going to decide, okay, so we had multiple opportunities where we needed to get a first down on short yard distances, and we said, you know what? Let's just not get our wildcat, incredible arm, incredible speed, incredible runner quarterback involved, who's going to eventually take over the team, not to mention it's a lose-lose no matter what. It makes the coaching staff look terrible no matter what the reasoning is. You didn't get it. And another thing we're not bringing up, again, I don't know whether you're going to put this on Downing or Vrabel, but when it came down to the last play, another thing nobody's talking about, you blow the timeout. You completely just fucking burn the timeout.
We talked about this, Vin. I know
because
you can't manage a clock.
Yeah.
How many
it was almost as bad as Nathaniel Hackett's fuck up last
time. Oh my god, and he admitted it.
It was almost as bad as that.
And not only that, the last play before Randy kicks it, you just decide, I'm going to lose 2 more yards.
Yeah. I think it was 4.
Because I need him to get on the hash mark when it didn't fucking matter anyway.
We're going to get to that fat fuck in a little bit. And my girlfriend got mad at me last week. She said, why you got to call him a fat fuck? I said, you're going to learn in about 3 seconds why I call him a fat fuck. He's going to miss this fucking kick. I've been on him since last fucking year. Everyone's been blowing him in training camp. Oh, he looks great. He looks great. Listen, I played soccer for 20 fucking years. I could guarantee I could look fucking good in training camp. Okay, with no fucking rush, no nothing, perfect conditions. when it comes down to it, this kid has no balls.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to talk about kickers this, kickers that. Yeah, you want to say that until you need a fucking kicker. And that's where you have your Justin Tuckers, the kid from your brother's team, the Raiders. You have your stud kickers, your suck ups, which Super Bowl champion year before he was on our fucking team.
Greg Joseph, he made a 50-something yarder for Minnesota. He's been an excellent kicker for them.
The rookie on the Browns made a 58 yarder to win the fucking game. This is 47 yards at home.
But still
at home.
We just said we're gonna just lose yards. We don't have fucking Justin Tucker or Butker. We got Randy Bullock, and we just said, all right, we're just gonna run. We're gonna have Tannehill run to the right and lose 2 yards. It is mind-boggling how anyone can decide. Forget the fact that you could have run another play. You could have run a play where it's thrown to the sideline and he either catches it and falls out of bounds. Or no. We blow the timeout, which we needed. And then we say, all right, forget it. Let's just cut our losses here. Let's let this asshole who can't hit walk-off kicks to save his life, let's just have him kick a 40-plus yarder. And we're going to lose 2 yards before he does it. No. Coach of the year, my ass. He needs to take this on the chin as well. He fucked up. He fucked up for allowing this shit to happen in the first place. He fucked up for letting this guy keep his job. And I'm really I can't back. I've done it a lot.
What befuddles me, not to cut you off, is we have the balls. And don't get me wrong, it's going to work out well. We have the balls to bring in competition for our all-pro punter. We have the balls to do that. And it worked out well. But if you have the balls to bring in competition for your punter who's been here for the last 14 years, fan favorite, league known, amazing, maybe the best punter in the league, top 3 at least. You have the balls to bring in competition for him, and albeit Stonehouse will be a good punter, you don't bring in any competition really, or I think they had someone in camp, but it was no one worthwhile. You didn't bring in a name to compete with this fucking kid. A name.
Well, now you got the Colts cutting Ricky Ricardo over there, and there's a
fucking fuck that geek dude. Every time I see him, I want to shove him into a locker.
If he can fucking kick, he kicked in Georgia.
I don't give a fuck if he.
I know he missed kicks this weekend, but
he was another 45 yarder he missed, and that was even worse than Bullock's.
I would still take him over Bullock. I'm done with him. I'm done.
I've been done with him. Fuck him.
So why not?
There's an open spot in the practice squad. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
we need to bring somebody
who needs to take it. Josh Gordon, and we'll get into that in a minute. I mean, Did you get his jersey yet?
Did you get his jersey yet? What numbers is he wearing? 19.
He could wear 8 because it's being wasted right now. Again, he had a great catch. But fucking Christ, you're telling me that Cody Hollister deserves a roster spot for Josh Gordon at only 31 years old? He's a year older than Robert Woods. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. This team has nobody right now that hits home runs. Nobody. We know.
I love Khalif Raymond back on this team. Remember when he
anyone. Listen,
King.
Burks can be a home run hitter. Phillips can be a home run hitter. They
didn't give them the opportunity. That's the fucking problem this weekend.
The fact that it was week 1. Burks will get his opportunities. He will, and he proved when the 3 catches he had that he is going to be a stud. He will be, but it's week 1. I'm not going to be mad at the fact he didn't get 10 targets and have 100 yards. He's going to be good.
Yeah, but Vin, doesn't it piss you off that you're reading and you're seeing videos of all preseason? Oh, Tannehill taking shots to Racey McMath. Oh, we got the deep fucking ball. They're throwing like crazy over here. Tim Kelly has a great influence on this offense and with the passing game. Where the fuck was that against a weak-ass Giant secondary?
I hear you.
It was the total opposite of what we've been hearing the whole summer.
It all reverts back to the offensive genius, Todd Downing. I mean, until we let him go, we can't expect much else. And it's to the point where I'm not going to believe it until I see it. There's no optimism with this guy. I will believe it when I see it. When we start dropping 30 plus, I said it in the group chat Sunday, we're going to struggle to score 20 points a game. Do we have a really good defense? I think top 5, top 6, top 7 in the league. You're going to put your defense in bad positions, and it's bend, don't break. It's bend, don't break.
Time out with that defensive ranking. Don't get
They're deep-
don't
they're-
be too short yet.
Listen, our rush defense wasn't.
It
there.
was week 1, and we just got pissed.
We
We
got-
pissed
we
down our
got-
leg.
We got
Worst
after
in the
quarterback.
league rush defense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
after week
Saquon
one,
had 400 yards.
After
At home.
and
not
one of them
good.
one of them was a home run. One of them was a
I-
70-yard run. It could happen. That can happen in any game.
But if you see some of these guys,
this defense is going to be the fucking strong point of this team. So
Absolutely.
you better start fucking believing.
absolutely.
You know?
There's,
So,
you know how these guys post videos on Twitter of all like gameplays and everything. There was a couple that Cunningham shot the gap on the inside when he had outside contain, and Barkley bounced it for a 60-yarder, and he
Yeah.
also bounced it for a 30-yarder. So there was gap controls missed throughout that whole run scheme.
over the course of a game, that could happen.
Absolutely.
You know,
I mean, it's the first one with a couple rookies on there.
Yeah,
But,
no, that 2-point conversion was just unacceptable, man.
Oh, you know it was-
everyone
you
and
know it
their
was-
mother knew
Yeah.
what they were gonna do.
yeah.
That he was gonna roll at everyone, and not to mention that he was there at the 2-yard line, and they just couldn't finish a tackle.
and really not to blame anybody. We all knew they were going to go for 2. That should have been offsetting penalties. It was a face mask on Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
Replay that
hold
down.
on. Should have been a hold on Autry.
Listen,
Redo the. I understand. Listen, they deserve. I gave props to Brian Dabo on Twitter. I said, give prop. We gave this game away, but give props when they were due. This fucking
They're
guy's
fucking balls, man.
He's gonna be a good head coach. He's got balls. He seems like he's got some Vrabel to his game where he could be a player's coach, but he can get in your face just like he did when he got in Daniel Jones's face.
When they scored, we were sitting watching the game right over here at my house. They said, "Do you go for 2?" I said, "Absolutely, go for 2."
Absolutely.
As I'm coming for a Titans fan, I said, "You have all the
I-
momentum. We just lost this game."
I said it before they even scored, and no one around me in my section, they all said, no. I said, wait, what? You're talking about a team that has 0 to play for, and they just came back, sold out crowd. They're going for 2. Not to mention, Dable knows that this asshole doesn't know how to call plays. Now, mind you, the icing on the cake was that the Giants just said, fuck it. We're going to gift you first down after first down, flag after flag, when it should have been over.
Yeah.
And then you're going to blow. You're going to have a great play to Phillips. You're going to put you right in the area you need to be. You're going to fuck up your timeout, which gave you another opportunity to throw, which another 5 yards, another 10 yards. Obviously, he's going to make the kick. And then you run it outside to the right, lose more yards. The Giants were saying, please win this game, as they do every year, every opener, but only this team fumbles the bag and fucking blows it. And it's I'm sorry, man. I got to keep going back to Vrabel. And I got to credit my dad to this too, because I really wasn't but Vrabel is the ringleader here. He's been since he's arrived. And he's let ass clown after ass clown ruin the talent this team has when it matters the most. And he's doing it again. And it's just so embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I'm tired of being embarrassed as a Titans fan. That's why we get no media coverage. That's why nobody talks about us, because we fuck ourselves. That's why the Giants get no media coverage. That's why the Jets got no media coverage, because the difference is they actually suck. Unlike us, who doesn't suck, but our play callers and game planners suck. That's why we can't finish. These teams don't get the opportunity to finish, but nobody's going to ever talk about us because we can't finish. And it's just, it's a lost cause. And now we got to pray. We got to actually hope that we continue to fail so this prick loses his job. No, man, that's not how this should work. That's how it should happen in the off season, not now. So, I mean, listen.
Now that we're stuck with him, and now you're talking about if we pray and everything. Now that we have the Bills coming up and the Raiders and then the Colts, those are the next 3 we're looking at. And then after that, I think it's 5 of the next 7 are on the road.
Washington,
right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Besides the point, what is your leash as the GM, as the head coach for Todd Downing if this offense does not improve within the next X amount of weeks? I know what my leash would be is. I just want to hear from you. So coming into it, I have him against Buffalo and Oakland. If we go 0-3 in these games and there is no offensive cohesiveness in the next 3 games, he's out going into a divisional game. I'm putting Tim Kelly as offensive coordinator. We cannot start this season 0-4. If we do, God forbid we beat Buffalo or God forbid we beat Oakland, that's my leash. He has week 3 at Oakland. I mean, in home against Oakland.
Go ahead, man.
I do think I said it to you guys on the game day, if not Jared after the game, but it would be the most Titans thing ever to lose at home to the Giants.
Oh yeah,
go on the road to Buffalo and beat them. Granted, I don't think it's going to happen. As far as the leash, there is no leash. Okay, we got an electric fence up around this motherfucker, where if you get too close, it zaps you. The leash is gone. It should have been gone last year. There's no more time or patience for him. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna walk into that electric fence in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If we start 1-3, 0-4, it has to happen. Because then what was the point of bringing in Tim Kelly as your assistant or whatever the fuck? You know what I mean? You saw with Jim Schwartz last year, and it looked like it paid dividends for the offense. The defense. So why not let the same thing happen with the offense? You bring in this guy, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of blind loyalty.
They're giving him the benefit of the doubt right now. So last year they brought in Schwartz. If the defense wasn't going, I'm sure Shane Bowen was out and Schwartz would be in. This is what I'm hoping for this year. If the offense, which I'm gonna run through a fucking wall if we start 0-3 or 0-4. I'm gonna run through a wall that this scumbag would be still the demise of us. If he's not playing calls by week 3, I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't think I gotta say it. I've been the one guy.
Yeah, it's gone. It's a waiting game. It's a waiting game.
Listen,
he's trending on Twitter. Fire of Todd Downing from a fucking fan base. Yeah. Come on, man.
A very small fan base, by the way, compared to the other ones.
Yeah, and they know because they see it because we're all very, very vocal. Titans Twitter. We all have our opinions.
Not only that, it's just everyone saw because it was like the last 4:00 game to end that everyone was watching it. And they all what the fuck happened? The poor clock management, the missed kick, the fucking highlights with the dumbass end around and Henry fumbling it out of the Wildcat. It's I don't know. Other people are starting to take notice. It seems like all the right people are not taking notice. The Vrabels, the John Robinsons, the Amy Adams. It's you have the balls to trade AJ Brown, but you don't have the balls to fire your fucking offensive coordinator. So.
I really again I have to say it. I really a lot of this falls on Mike Vrabel. It does because I think he's just so worried about his ego and. Just holding up that mantra, like I'm the big alpha dog here, and I'm gonna be right no matter what. And this was my decision, so I'm not gonna back off that. I have to stick with it through thick and thin because if that wasn't the case, it just doesn't make sense why this piece of shit would even be back in the first place. It was when I did my quote unquote State of the Union address. The letting Downing go thing was didn't even seem like it was something to bring up because it was so obvious. And then we brought him back and I'm like, this has to be a nightmare. And then I realized it wasn't. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this clown another chance because he's going to have a boyfriend to help him out and Tim Kelly. And again, like I said, Tim Kelly can't go up to him and say, listen, Todd, not a good idea giving a rookie tight end a monumental third down run when he's been in the league for 5 minutes. When you got the biggest, baddest, strongest running back on earth, which you continue to decide isn't the right option on third and short distances. So obviously my leash does not exist. Again, I know everyone thinks I'm a pessimist, but I just continue to be proven right. It's a lose-lose because what's going to either happen is we're going to start winning at a spite like we always do. Because they win games out of spite of their coordinators, not because of them, with the exception of Downing or Bowen, with the exception of Bowen.
And we had
or we're going to completely collapse. The season's going to be a waste, and then we got to waste the season to get this asshole out. So it's just a lose-lose. So I'm sorry. I hope to God I'm wrong. But I mean, the evidence is just outstanding that this guy isn't the answer. And if by the graces of God, things start clicking with our playmakers and he gets the opportunity to call another playoff game, he's going to blow it again. Because like I said last year in our last show, maybe he'll win you a game. Maybe he'll win you 2 games in the playoffs, but he ain't winning the biggest one. You got to win at minimum 3. We're going to have to win 4, by the way, and he ain't going to be able to do it. So we're wasting our time. That's it. And now I'm back on the Tannehill bandwagon, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And it means nothing.
Todd Downing's got you so fucked up. You're a Tannehill guy now. You know?
He showed it, man.
I think last podcast, both of you were fucking ragging on me for saying I'm still the Tannehill guy.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that.
He looked good. I'm not ready to apologize yet, but he looked good. He did. He was.
Listen. He did look good, but I wasn't gonna say it. But since we're still on him, he had some questionable throws, throwing into quadruple coverage a couple times. That
did.
Come on, there's got to be someone else there. Why are you trying to squeeze it into NWI with 3 guys are right there?
He did. But he's the lightest he looked on his feet in a long time. Believe me, I was there. I was looking at him. There were a few times he didn't go through his progressions, the normal Tannehill shit you're going to have to deal with. But there were also a lot of times where I saw him shuffling. I've never seen him do things like that. And it gave me a lot of hope. And I keep going back to that Phillips throw. That was, it is what it is. It's week 1. It's a pressure moment coming home after that playoff loss. That was a big time throw he made when all the cards were stacked against him. And I got to give that to him. And again, I'm going back on my word. That Cincinnati loss, as bad as Tannehill was, it's more Downing to blame because the win was there. It was available. Forget the fact that he threw the pick. He shouldn't have had the opportunity to throw that first pick or the second pick with the screen because we were running at ease. I mean, it goes on and on. It goes on and on. This guy is so bad at his job, and it's an embarrassment to Amy Adams-Strunk. It's an embarrassment to John Robinson, and most importantly, it's an embarrassment to Mike Vrabel.
For what we've built the last couple of years,
allowing him to do this.
So wasting a championship defense, wasting a championship team last year too. It's just it's hard to swallow right now.
Yeah, the only way I can see is not as a lose is, to be a glass half full kind of guy is if we fire him and we start winning. We're in a similar we were in a similar situation when we turned from Mariota to Tannehill. None of us at least thought we were going to make a run to the title game. We were all like, fuck, it got so bad we had to turn to Miami reject Ryan Tannehill. And we would have thought that was a lose-lose, and we turned it around.
But we barely made it, though. We were 9-7. That was a
miracle. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls like that. You get fucking hot. You get hot.
Dude,
no, I'm not holding nothing on anything.
I'm just trying to say it's not a lose-lose. If we can this fucking kid in the next few weeks, and we turn around and we see what Tim Kelly has, and we let Ryan, your boy, fucking Gordon get on the field. We start getting Burks the ball. We start getting Woods the ball. It's week 1. We're
gonna have to go 0-3. We're gonna have to go 0-3 though.
But Tim Kelly may implement more stuff into the game plan, and he may actually sit in week by week more and more. And they may.
Well, that's the only chance.
Listen, I think. And to be totally honest with you, I don't think Shane Bowen was totally behind this defense last year, and I don't think he was behind the defense this year. I think more of it is Schwartzy, and hopefully Tim Kelly has more of an influence after this past week going forward into the offense.
I don't even remember.
Schwartzy's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Well, Sal, the Titans follow you on fucking Twitter. You're half a fucking celeb down there, so start fucking calling for some heads, bro. All right, maybe they'll listen to you.
Well, listen, obviously they don't like it because they haven't even spoke my name on that app in 2 years.
With 2 likes last week, I was surprised.
What?
I got 2 likes last week.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
And listen, I don't know. I think it's Nate Bain who's in control of that.
It's Kim Smith too, I think.
No, she would, if she was in control of Titans Twitter, she would definitely. She's a tri-state girl. Yeah, we have a good relationship on Twitter. I think it's the Nate Bain guy. I don't think he likes me, So it doesn't matter. I don't even give a shit. It's amazing they even still follow me because they really don't want to interact with me at all. And that's fine. I guess I get it because I when they lose, I absolutely trash them. And the things that I say,
we all do because we're passionate fans.
course.
That's the fucking problem.
Of course.
And we're in Jersey, not even in Nashville.
I know, it's crazy. I wish I had that kind of pull. If I did, obviously, this guy wouldn't even have been allowed in the state, let alone call plays for the team. So we've been going rambling like crazy. Obviously, had a ton of talk about. Great show, obviously. But let's wrap up. We got a game coming up, prime time. Arguably the best team in the league. We typically play them well as of late, but I don't foresee it happening. We'll see. This team surprised us a million times. But with Todd Downing at the helm, it's just a really sad situation. Like you said, Vin, I think our only chance is that they at least behind the scenes say, Tim, you need to start implementing plays, because if it comes down to us going 0-3 to lose this guy's job, then it's done. I don't care what our division is. It's done. I'm sorry. We're not going 0-3 and winning the division. I really don't see it happening.
It would have been a great opportunity with Houston and Indianapolis tying each other.
It is a great opportunity.
Half game on both of them,
But let me tell you something. There's a reason that happened. It's because both of them. Houston, let me tell you, man.
There's some balls. They're going to be.
Davis Mills is not a joke.
No, he's not at all.
He's not. He's not Dan Marino, but he's not a joke.
Lovie Smith went to a Super Bowl. Let's not forget. So I think they're building a culture there. I don't think they're there yet. They're not. They're like
not a rollover anymore.
They're going to be like the Lions of last year in a lot of games. The Lions should have had 3 or 4 extra wins than they did. But they're going to be a team that you're not just going to roll over. Okay,
no, I don't see us sweeping them.
And even Jacksonville, they almost pulled that out. Trevor Lawrence didn't look that bad. So
didn't look that bad.
I
playmakers.
I think we know how Colts Twitter feels about the Colts. They win the division every year for the rest of their lives, and we have ran the division the last 2 years. So. I think it would be ignorant of us to believe that Colts fans or Titans fans believe either one of us is going to win this division, because I'll tell you what, fucking 8-9 might win this division. That's how bad it looks so far. Or fucking 7-8-1, in this division.
Houston's defense also did not look very bad. I'll tell you.
Jerry Hughes was the best. Second best defender on all
and Jacksonville's defense. Not bad. Okay.
Just to scare you guys just a little bit, if we even split with every single one of them, we have 5 losses already.
Exactly. And guess what? Who was the number 1 pick last year for Jacksonville?
Trayvon Walker.
Yeah. You know what he did on Sunday? He had a sack and an interception to start his NFL career. Okay. You know who he's going to be probably going against? Taylor fucking Lewan. Have a good time there. Okay.
Cross it out.
Have a good time. These division games, guys, as it stands now, run right. It's going to be fucking scary. This isn't 2019 or 2020 where we lose one division game ain't happening. Not this year, man. Okay. The Colts aren't as good as everyone thinks, but fucking Christ, we're not sweeping them. I don't think we're sweeping Houston. I'd say there's still a decent chance we sweep Jacksonville just because we just historically are in their cranium, but it's going to be scary as it looks.
It already is scary right now.
It already is.
It's week
going to
one.
get scarier. So let's see. We got a statement game coming up next week. I can't even say it without chuckling.
Might be a statement game for fucking Buffalo. But
oh, hell yeah, it is. Hell fucking yeah.
Coming off an emotional first win on Thursday night, having the
home opener Monday night.
Listen,
they want to beat our ass. We beat their ass 2 years ago during the COVID year. We beat them at home, dramatic fashion last year on Monday night or whatever it was. And I think they're going to come out with a point to prove. They've had a short bye week with the playing last Thursday, and we got to at least show some fucking balls if we're not going to win this game. Let's see how big our balls are and we got any heart, because if we just lay down and get fucking mashed, then
if we lay down and don't have this close,
then we're gonna need an EMT in Sal's room for the podcast next week if we get fucking rolled over.
The line is at 9.5. When was the last time the Titans were a 9.5?
I'll tell you,
dogs.
I'll tell you though, I love that. I really do. I don't think they're gonna get blown out I 9.5 is you're going to get blown out is what Vegas
Oh
thinks.
yeah.
I really, and I shouldn't because I am a mush, but I really
Welcome
want
to Mush City
yeah,
here.
I really want to put some money on Tennessee 9.5 because that's just a little over the top here. Okay, we're forgetting what Derrick Henry does week 1 every year, and then what he does week 2 every year.
And it's a different game plan. We saw them play the Rams, and Josh Allen was throwing all over the ball. Let's not forget the Bills don't have a great running game. So if we contain that, unlike we did it with Saquon Barkley, and we try to keep it going with the pressure, even if we bring 5 this week against Josh Allen, I think we'll be all right. There's hopeful, like me and Vinny were talking after the game.
Well,
It's the most Titan thing in the world that they laid the fucking egg and they come back and just smack the Bills.
let's hope.
And then everyone's going to be like, what Titans team is this? And then we'll be coming back here next week and saying, week 1 overreaction, or we just say, fuck, dude, we're in trouble.
Yeah, you know what else is the most Titan thing in the world? Them turning it around, having a great season, winning the division, and then again, fucking laying another egg when it's a win or go home game. So again, there won't be one time at this point in the season where I'm boasting and bragging. We're back. Who run it? No. I can't anymore. I just can't. I mean, I'm not 50 years old, but I've been too deep into this for too long. I can't do it anymore. It's going to be, I'm not getting excited, really legitimately excited until we're playing football in February. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care if by the graces of God, this team makes it to another AFC championship game. Until we are in the final game, I can't be the number one. I mean, I'm still going to be the number one hype guy and go fucking crazy, but I'm not. The confidence it doesn't exist anymore.
I almost had a fucking heart attack and a stroke. I went to bed sweating. My face was red. My wife goes, "You got problems." I go, "This is the only thing I fucking love besides St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is the only thing I got is sports. Talking to you guys, I need one. I've seen every fucking major championship on my teams except the Tennessee Titans. I need this more than anybody, just like you guys.
And you got a better shot at seeing Albert Pujols hit 800 home runs than you do of Todd Downing calling a exceptional football game. So that's where we're at. So
during the pod, Sal, speaking of baseball, Aaron Judge hit another one tonight.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. I'm in the semifinals in my baseball league, and I got him. So
why do they continue to pitch to him? I don't understand it. They're still losing, though.
With Stanton back, it's hard to pitch around them.
All right, nobody cares about this. That's listening.
No, we're getting off.
All right, let's wrap it up. We've been over an hour. Crazy. It feels like it's been 10 minutes. But, of course, there's so much content with this fucking disaster. So
we've been saying, real quick, this whole time, we got to do a Twitter space. This week, let's try to do a Twitter space, maybe the weekend or even after the Monday night game. We got to try to do something.
Yeah, of course.
Boost everything up with everything. So
I'm all for it.
Let's try to do something, fellas.
Yeah. Of course. As always, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. We're trying to build something. We did decent numbers this past season. We want to do bigger numbers this time. And you know, we're rocking and rolling, and we're back in action. So, without further ado, we're gonna close out. And any final words from my two musketeers? Anything else?
Not fucking lay an egg next week. Tighten up. Let's get this fucking win in Buffalo.
I think Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Those are the fucking 4 words I got.
As always, tighten up.
I know.
And you know what? Maybe you can also cover for me, Tennessee. That'd be great because I'm laying it down. I'm laying the big bucks on 9.5.
It's 9.5.
Run right.
Christ.